Maya, let's get straight away to talking to Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad of the BJP. Have you got the copy of the bill?
Not till now. And what amazes me, Rahul, is one of the most momentous bills in the democratic polity of the country, supposed to be tabled today, but we don't have a copy.
You mean to say that if you want to move amendments, if you want to put in objections, barely a few hours before the tabling of the bill, you don't have the copy of the bill?
I don't have the copy of the bill.
Do you think, isn't the opposition confused because of this? That what is really happening is that there have been several changes. What we have been hearing in the last 24 hours, that the government has had rethink about several elements like putting in minority, the constitutional status. Does it augur well? Because top leaders of the BJP went and met Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, and in that meeting, perhaps it was highlighted the kind of objections you had and the kind of dissent notes which were submitted in the standing committee. Is the BJP going to stick to its dissent notes on various issues like CBI and the inclusion, the appointment of Lokpal and also the removal?
Surely we want an effective Lokpal, and our dissent is basically designed to highlight that. Advani ji, Sushma ji, Arun ji clearly told Pranab Babu that we are concurring to the extension for 3 dates, but not on the content. Rahul, date is not important. What is important is the content of the bill. Is it a constitutional body or not a constitutional body? We see murmur of protest from some supposed allies of the Congress party. This government could persuade Mulayam Singh Yadav and Lalu Prasad on the issue of nuclear deal, but Lokpal, the indications are not very encouraging at all. Therefore,
you mean to say that despite trying to build consensus with the opposition, perhaps the government's own house, in terms of numbers, the government is not very sure.
The signs are not encouraging, mark my words. And the content part, we don't know. How can they bring in minorities? It is unconstitutional. And therefore, we must get the time to study it, to move amendments. And I understand it is a completely new bill before what Abhishek Manu Singhvi in the standing committee examined. Therefore, it is a completely new bill with new content, with new provisions, new premises.
Are you very happy with the fact that the appointment and the removal of the Lokpal, as per the new bill, largely remains with the government? So perhaps the government remains in control. So even though the government, the opposition might be a member of the selection panel, it might be largely a CVC-like arrangement in which the opposition can only make a note of dissent.
But I don't know what is there in store. We'll have to see the fine prints first. But if the government retains all the control, the entire purpose will be frustrated. Rahul, let me give an analogy for your viewers. Election Commission, when session started long-term changes, many political parties had protested. Now Election Commission has shown how good elections can be conducted. And no CEC can afford to ignore this legacy. That is what we want the Lokpal to become. Not for today or next elections, but for the body polity of the country.
But with Anna Hazare ready to launch his campaign, perhaps the BJP will try to make things difficult for the government, that if the bill is not passed, you have Anna Hazare roaming around in 5 states, and that will help you in, during the 5-state assembly elections.
We don't see it purely in political terms. This government has made enough mess of himself that the people will come to us as to how India has been governed. But that is a different chapter altogether. Do we want a toothless bill? Do we want a pro forma compliance of a Lokpal bill? Or do you want an effective Lokpal being an effective instrument in the fight against corruption? That is the rub.
Do you think that from the beginning of this year, when the government was reluctant to talk to Mr. Anna Hazare, then came the incident of being sent to jail, then came the drafting committee, this has been a year-long flip-flop and perhaps agonizing moment for the government. Do you see somewhere the government is still reluctant to have a Lokpal?
Well, that lingering doubt is always there. But being a chronic optimist, which I am, which all the politicians must be, we hope that they would respect the sentiment of the people. But the haphazard manner in which the bills are being prepared and being tweeted about, it does not give the right signal. Therefore, the formal comment would have to await a study of the fine print, which I don't have. It is already 9 o'clock. We don't have a copy of it.
We will hope that the chronic optimist, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, will not turn into a chronic protester in Parliament when the Lokpal bill comes. Maya, perhaps this summarizes the kind of confusion which prevails, that most of the members of Parliament at 9 o'clock in the morning are yet to get the copy of the bill which is going to get tabled. Perhaps that symbolizes the kind of last-minute thoughts which are going on within the government.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.